What's going on, my Pachos, Chachos? Welcome to the Pasho Perspective. This is your host, Pasho. Look, sorry so much for the exodus that I had earlier. I went through some stuff at my work. I had a couple of students talking some ish about me, and unfortunately, I'm at a place now where my administration doesn't support me very much, and had been trying to, I think, get paperwork on me so that they can send me off to another place, which is kind of crazy because 2 years in a row, we are the #1 school in the county that I teach at. My students crush the averages. We do almost twice as good as the state and, as the county. And we do it with some really special kids who don't really come from money. They're not affluent, and yet, it was still great. But back to my excuses, because unfortunately that's all I have to offer today as to why I had been on such a long hiatus and exodus. A girl was eating ice cubes in my class. I called her out in it. We have a no eating policy. I didn't know it was ice cubes. I saw her put something in her mouth once. I didn't even say anything because I don't try to be that guy. I saw her do it again, and I called her out on it. And then instead of just saying, okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop doing that, she lied and said that she wasn't eating anything. And then when I went up to her desk to, see if there was any bags or any kind of evidence that I could find, she opened her bag on her own to show me that there was nothing in it, and then admitted and explained to me that she was eating, but it was just ice cubes, which in my class, I don't care about ice cubes. Like, that is such a stupid reason for interrupting a class. I mean, I apologized to her. I apologized to the class like twice because I thought it was so stupid to interrupt over something so dumb, where she could have just told me while I was in the front of the class, it's ice cubes. And then I would have been like, oh, okay, just, don't spill or whatever. And even if you do spill, who cares? All the floor does is get wet. But she lied. And then not only did she lie, but then she said that I was bullying and harassing her, and for some reason my administration just ate it all up. And even on the paperwork it said teacher embarrassed, publicly embarrassed, and blah blah blah. And the way that I would put it as a teacher of 20 plus years is I was doing classroom management, and I was preventing children from eating or drinking in the class when they're not supposed to, as per the school policy, which of course I wrote in everything that I could to document it. But they came after me anyway, and they gave me a verbal reprimand. I wasn't even aware of that, but apparently they could do it without any paperwork or documentation. And then the next semester came, and a kid was cheating in my class. I caught them red-handed, and instead of apologizing, they again tried to say that I bullied them, that I embarrassed them, that I was harassing them. And, with all of that, without my administration backing me up, I just figured, all it's going to do if I go online is get me in trouble. They'll find some way. And so till it all blew over, I just wanted to, make sure that I wasn't going to cause any problems for myself, for my school, for my class, and, for my family. Because if I lose my job, then, that's going to obviously affect everybody. And I don't want to put us in that position. So at least at the end of the first incident, I decided to join the teachers union. And if you are a teacher, especially like me, who is married, Christian, conservative, not a complete retard, then I strongly suggest you join the union, because that's like the only retard-proof thing that we have from nefarious people trying to do nefarious things just because they don't like my opinion or my ideology. And, whatever, to each his own. I understand not everybody loves chocolate. I can't appease everybody. Some people like strawberry, some people like vanilla, and hey, that's okay. But I mean, all I have to offer is the flavors that I am made of. And so, in a subjective course like literature, where it's about your opinion on what you think the story is about, it's kind of hard to give somebody else's opinion, so the only ones I can give are mine, and apparently they didn't like them, and the administration also didn't care for me sharing them. And so here we are. Months after not doing my podcast for a while. But now that my podcast, or now that all of that is done, and I joined the union, and we basically got them to throw away everything from the second incident because it was all hearsay. There was nothing specific. There was nothing substantial. It was all just complete tripe. They had to pretty much cancel it. And they called me up and said, "Oh, don't worry about coming to any more meetings. We're just going to drop the case and blah, blah, blah," because they realized that, yeah, I'm not alone anymore, and you can't just pick on me like you did. And I have the right to say what I want to say in my classroom. I'm not offensive, not purposefully at least. If people are offended by what I say, that's on them. They can control that, but they can't control me. And so now I'm done. And I'm ready to start again. So welcome to episode 76, season 9. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet. I guess I'll call it free at last, right? Because now I'm no longer under those restrictions of, talking. They tried putting gag orders on me. There was no judges. I mean, it's absolute garbage, the crap that they put me through. But the good news at the end is that my Broward rep, my teachers union rep, was able to get it taken care of and thrown out so I can enjoy my summer. And I did enjoy my summer. It was a wonderful time. Got to spend some time out of the country in Ecuador with my family. We went horseback riding. We climbed volcanoes. We did a bunch of really amazing stuff. I started a t-shirt company. So if you like this shirt, this is called DJ Oso. If you go to Etsy / Pasho's Place without the apostrophe, PASHOSPLACE. You should be able to find all my gear there. So if you want to support a Christian, married, conservative teacher who has been pretty much in the top 3 of high schools in the district as well as the state for the last, I don't know how long have I been teaching, 20 plus years, then please do support me. And then maybe one day we can just talk and I'll be, doing this instead of fighting the good fight in the trenches. Although honestly, I think this is where God wants me, so I'm okay. I love these kids. I love these students. I think I'm decent at what I do, and as long as they're gonna keep me here, then I hope to continue to teach the good word, to be a fisher of men, to present my Father to all the people who come into my classroom as a good Christian should do. Because really, out of all the education that I can give, the most important thing would be to teach about having a relationship with my God. And I know that's probably going to trigger some people. And, well, not everybody believes, but you believe. And you know what? That's fine. I don't expect them to. But I'm going to talk about my God. It's my class. It's why I am where I am. It's why I am who I am, because of all of the graces and blessings and His mercy. And, I'm just looking for, trying to bring future generations to Him so that they could also know His love and know His joy and to have a good life. I mean, at the end of the day, every good teacher should want his student or her student to be successful, not just in a profession, but more as a human being, that they are a good spouse, that they are a good father, that they are a good son, a good friend, a good whatever it is that, God has called them to do. And so that's where we are. And so I just wanted to tell you a couple of lessons that I have learned throughout this process. And one is, sometimes silence is best. And I think I would have gotten myself in trouble with, the emotions and everything that I had going under it. I mean, how do you expect an innocent man to behave when he is being accused of things that he knows he has not done? I mean, it has been very emotionally stressful on me, but I'm ready to move forward. And that kind of is the theme of what I want to get into here. Now, I have 2 options, right? After all the harassment that I ironically had to go under, that is this. I could either dry up like a bitter shrew and take it out on my students and, half work and not really do the best that I can and allow my school to move from number 1 2 years in a row to 100. I mean, who knows, where we would fall. I don't think we'd ever get that low. We've got some really great students here, but, or, the other option other than, just giving half a day's work for a full day's pay is to forgive them, and I'm going to use my testimony as an example of forgiveness, because I no longer teach young freshmen as I used to. They have now made me the junior teacher, so I'm dealing with a little bit more mature students, 15 going on to 16 already. And And I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. At first, when I found out about it, I figured this was a trap, because 2 years ago, who are now, 2 years ago, freshmen are now my juniors today. I thought maybe the administration is just trying to get these kids who went after me first to be in my class again so that they can come after me again. And if that's the case, whatever. I'm going to do my job, and, if they have grounds to let me go, then I guess they'll do that. But, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, which is, living passionately and trying to inspire and motivate my students to do the best that they can so that they can gain the rewards afterwards. So I'm going to instead give them the benefit of the doubt. And instead of thinking that they are being nefarious, trying to put students in my class who they already know will come after me, that I'm going to use this as a way of showing mercy and forgiveness. And so on my first day of school, I told some of these kids that were in my class that, you may not have liked me, and that's fine. And some of you tried to get me fired, and that's fine too. You're young, maybe you didn't realize the scope of what you were doing, but I forgive you. That you tried to take the prop that sustains the roof on my house, I forgive you. You lied about me and slandered me and presented me in false testimony, I forgive you. You try to get me fired. You try to kick me out of this school, I forgive you. I don't care. Hurt me, I will pray for you. Right? Because that's what we're called to do as good Christians. Right? Pray for those who persecute you. If your enemy is hungry, give him food. If your enemy is thirsty, give him drink. And so I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm not going to be jaded. I'm not going to be bitter, because it's easy to be that. Instead, I'm going to accept what happened. And I'm going to try to not validate or rationalize, but I'm just going to blame it on youth. And that when we're young, we can be a bit egotistical and narcissistic and selfish and only think about ourselves and not really the consequences, repercussions of what, other people might be going through. And I could get angry. I could take it out on them. I could throw worksheets at them. I could not do my job and just have them read, and all I do is grade. And, I guess that's fine, but that's not the kind of person I am. That's not the kind of thing that God wants us to do, right? God doesn't want us to draw back. God wants us to move forward, right? Like William Blake once said, expect poison in standing water. And I'm not going to be standing water, holding on to my past in the darkness while time continues to move forward and thus I recede into my past. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to carry the past with me, because how can I grab whatever my Father has in store for me in the future if my hands are too busy holding on to the past? And so hopefully my students, especially the ones who came after me anonymously, so I don't technically know who were the perpetrators trying to get me fired by coming up with false testimony, but I'm going to teach them that I don't care and that I forgive them, and that I'll offer my other cheek if I have to, because I'm not going to get angry, right? Anger, like the Buddhists say, is just punishment that I'll be giving myself for their actions, and I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to punish them, because God didn't bring me here to punish them. Revenge is his, and I'm going to let him have it. And so the revenge that I'm going to seek is living the good life. And I hope that you guys, if you're in any situations that are stressful and disheartening like I was, I hope that you can learn from this podcast that you just need to move forward. If Disney did anything right, it was creating the movie Meet the Robinsons, where they stress the point of keep moving forward, because you can't stand still. Standing still is receding, because time will continue to move forward. And so I get further and further away from the light. And so I'm tired of darkness. I think you're tired of darkness too. And I think it's time to let the Lord's face shine upon us. Let his light come into our heart to light up the God that is inside all of us, to make this world a little bit less of a dark place. And so I know it's not a good reason or a good excuse as to why I had been silent for so long, but I promise you that going forward, that we're gonna make it. Okay, we're gonna be okay, and I'll be here for you, my Pachos Chachos, as I have before. I'll give you all my insight. I'll give you all my perspectives, and hopefully you'll be here too, encouraging me and inspiring me to continue to stay strong and to remain true to myself, to my God, to my profession, to my students who I value and love very much. Even those that came after me, forgive them, Father. They know not what they do. And, that's all I pray for them. And just hope that one day they will see me when they reflect back on me and remember that I was one of those guys that was on their side, that I was always rooting for them. And even when they came after me, I didn't give up on them, and I still wanted them to be successful. I still wanted them to have a beautiful life. I mean, if I have any legacy, other than my children, whom I love very much, more than anything, more than myself, is my students. I hang my hat on their successes. I love when they come and visit me and tell me the great things that they're doing. I love following them on social media and seeing all the different places that they've gone and the children that they have brought into this world too. I mean, teaching may not get a lot of respect anymore like it used to, but it's a noble career. And to all my teachers out there who are frustrated and not supported and feeling like I have felt the cooling effects of these current administrations trying to silence any voices that are conservative, anyone who still believes in God, let me just say to you that you are not alone. I am here with you, and I will fight your fight. If you just give me your support, I'll do it for you. Well, with that said, my Pachos Chachos, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. I hope next week finds you healthy and well. And until the next time, God bless. Take care. See you then.